Hello everyone, I'm Manuel, the FluencyBringer, and this is episode 22 of the Fluency Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to have an interview with Camila, a Spanish student from Italki. Hey Camila, thank you very much for being here today for this episode of the Fluency Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here with you.
So Camila, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living?
Yeah, of course. So I am a Portuguese teacher. So I teach Portuguese online in Italki. I graduated in law school. By profession, I'm a lawyer, but I got involved in the language learning, and it's something that I'm very passionate about now. So I started studying and getting degrees in language learning. So now I am a teacher.
Wow, that's really amazing. Okay, and when did you start learning Spanish?
Wow, so Spanish. Well, first of all, Spanish is the most beautiful language in the world for me. I started learning Spanish a long time ago, but I've been on and off with Spanish up until the point where I saw a movie called Bacurau. I'm sure you don't know this movie. It's a Brazilian movie.
No.
Yeah, it's okay. I can send you more information later. But this movie talks on how little we sometimes it talks about Brazil, how we want to travel and go to other places, but we actually don't know our origins. We don't know our country, and we think that everything that comes from abroad is better. So after seeing that movie, I thought, wow, why am I learning English? Why am I learning other languages such as Italian and French, since we have this whole continent speaking Spanish that I could easily go and travel and connect? So after that movie, I thought I became in love with Spanish all over again. And yeah, that's my motive. That's my reason.
Wow, yeah, that's great. So besides learning Spanish, I see that you have been learning other languages, right?
Yeah.
So how did this idea of starting a YouTube channel came about?
Yeah, that's interesting for me or for my friends and my students. I am not a very consistent person. I decided to create this channel because when I told everyone that I was doing that, it became a sort of accountability. So because I told people that I was learning Spanish, I was posting lessons, then I had to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't maybe trust myself, because as I love languages so much, I could be, as I did in the past, I would be learning a language for a month, then I would change, then I would change again, then I would change again. I wouldn't be consistent. And now with the YouTube channel, I told everyone I'm posting 3 lessons every week for a year. And I know that I'm going to do it. I know that people might not care if I'm posting or not, my friends and family, but because I gave my word, I will do it. That's my...
I see. Wow. Yeah, that's a ton of work. Definitely. I have seen that you upload your lessons on YouTube, definitely. But I didn't know that you had to do this because in order for you to motivate yourself to continue learning a language. Yes, that's a really great idea. And probably going to recommend this to my students, especially if they have a YouTube channel already. Yeah. So what is your YouTube channel called?
It's called Learn Languages with Me Learning Languages. So the idea is that people, as had happened in the past, so the idea is that they see me learning languages, they see me making mistakes, and they thought, oh, it's not actually that bad. Because sometimes with my students, I don't know about your students, but they come to lessons, especially if there is the first time, they are afraid of speaking. They might study and read books, watch things, but they are afraid of speaking. So as I started posting my lessons, I have received some messages saying, oh, because I see that you are learning and you're making mistakes, that motivated me to take a lesson as well. And yeah, it's learning languages with me learning languages, to answer your question.
Okay, I see. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so basically people can see you make mistakes and that motivates them to continue learning a language because they know that it's normal to make mistakes. So that's really great. Yeah. What I teach my students is basically don't worry if you make a mistake. That's completely normal. And especially in other countries, I think that thing about making mistakes, it's not so like important, like in the Western world. I believe that, like in Asia and other countries, they really care about learning more so than making mistakes. So I think it's a change of culture. But since I already have a lot of experience with Asian, with Europeans, North American, South American people, I can see that how different cultures are, and I try to tailor my lessons to each of these cultures so that they enjoy my lessons and they are not so afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah. But that comes when they start trusting you, because as teachers, we start creating a connection, right, with our students. And with time, they are more at ease with that making mistake thing, I think. But I think the challenge is to make them want to have lessons, like to cross that bridge. Let's say once they see how fascinating it is actually to be with a native speaker, to be able to communicate an idea, a thought. It's amazing. Once you get to have the first experience, I have never met anyone who has ever had a lesson and then said, oh my God, I must stop now. That's not for me. Usually that's not the case. They have lessons and they want to continue.
Yeah, that's great. And Camila, how do you think your experience as a Portuguese teacher impact your Spanish learning?
Oh, that's a great question. We have a saying in Portuguese. I'm not sure if there is this same saying in Spanish or in English. It is do as I say, not as I do.
Okay.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
So I'm not as great as I'm not as great as a student as I am as a teacher, because I know all the things I should do to improve. But as a student, it's different, right? To be on the other side, and I'm curious to hear your answer as well. But it's when I'm on the other side, I know that I should watch more videos. I know I should practice more, study, read, and practice all the skills. But I am lazy. I like to talk. That's all I like to do as a student. So it impacts me in a sense, like I know what is a good teacher when I see one, and I want to work with good teachers, with people, like you said, that are able to motivate us, to correct us, to guide the way. As being a teacher helps me to identify good teachers to work with. That helps me. But the advices that I give my students to learn Portuguese, I'm not always following those same advices.
And tell me, what motivates you to keep learning the Spanish language? Like, not the languages themselves, because I know that your YouTube channel is for that, to keeping you motivation to keep on learning a language, of course. But what else motivates you, like Spanish? What are your goals? What are your motivation? Why you keep learning it and not change to another language?
Yeah. Well, firstly, I want to travel through South America. And 2 years ago, I was in Peru. And I speak little Spanish back then. And then I remember I met an incredible person. He was a life coach. And I remember we were walking down the street and we were talking. And he wanted to tell me about his clients, his work, his motivation. But I couldn't understand. As a Portuguese speaker, I can understand a lot of Spanish, but not that deeply. And that day I thought, when I come back here, I want to listen to people's stories, because sometimes they're only able to tell that story in their languages. And I'm very curious, and I like to hear stories. I like to get to know people and to get inspired by them. So that's my motivation. I want to travel to South America countries, and once I'm there, I want to talk to people in their language. That's what's keeping going. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, definitely. Yes. And just to make sure that that is not, if in case that is not enough motivation, you also have your YouTube channel to back it
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah. Double motivations. That's good.
Yeah.
Perfect. And how long have you been learning the Spanish language on Italki?
Well, on and off. I started a few years ago, but I had stopped too many times. But now I started in July. I restarted. Now I'm very serious. It's been 2 months now.
And Camila, since you have been learning English and Spanish on Italki, tell me, what are the advantages that Italki gives to their students?
Well, I teach in Italki, so I love Italki really. I think one advantage is to be able to work on-one and to be able to choose the person you're working with. So Italki, once you enter, gives you some trials to see, to test, to get to know some teachers. And I think it allows you to work with someone that it might have the same age as you, a background similar to yours. You get to choose the person you can see the credentials, where did they go to school, what do they have to offer, their videos, their accent. So there are filters. You can see the budget that you have and find someone you can afford. So I think, yeah, it allows you to get to know someone that can actually and really help you and work on-one. It's something really special. In Portuguese, we have a saying. We say that there is no cake recipe for anything. So everyone is very particular. The way everyone learns is different. So if you are able to inform the teacher, so that's me, I'm Camila, I learned that way, can we figure out a plan? So I think Italki allows that. It's really great. It's a really great platform.
Definitely. Yes. So I believe it's great that they offer 3 trial lessons so that you can really get to choose the right teacher for you.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's really amazing. Other platforms don't offer that. They probably give you like only 1 trial lesson, and usually you have to pay like the full price for the teacher. Right. But in the case of Italki, they really make it very simple to choose your teacher. They give you all the information. And even if you make a mistake with a teacher that you select, you still have 2 other opportunities. So I think it's really great. Yeah. And well, you have been a teacher and a student at Italki for a long time. So what advice could you give like to students that want to start learning a language on Italki, especially Spanish? What advice could you give them?
Oh, wow. Spanish. So for Spanish, I'd say that I'm not sure if you're going to agree with me. What I've discovered so far is that there are different accents. And so for me, it doesn't matter because I love them all and I want to learn all the accents and all different words for the same things that there are. But I would say that if someone is learning Spanish because of a partner, maybe learn the Spanish if they're learning to communicate with the family and that family comes from a particular location, I think it would be important to work with the teacher from there, because the teacher, they can not only explain to you the language, they can help you with the culture as well. And I know that in Latin America and South America, there are, although the countries are very close, they can be very different in culture as well. So it is important to get someone from a place so you can learn about the culture as well. But also I would say that it is also important to learn different accents, to speak to different people. I would say use your trial lessons, talk to different teachers, and see if they correct you. I think that's important. If they actually care about your learning, if you're making progress, if they are helping you to express your ideas better, helping you to say things in a more natural way, that can you observe in a lesson, in a trial lesson. So get someone who cares about your learning and wants to make you better. Yeah.
And Camila, tell me, do you have any last words that you like to tell our audience? Maybe in Spanish? I don't know.
Oh, I was not expecting this. Okay. So, estoy muy emocionada de estar aquí contigo, Manuel. Muchísimas gracias por invitarme. Me gusta muchísimo tu trabajo, así que espero ver muchos más vídeos y podcasts tuyos. Y sí, a los estudiantes de español, yo espero que ellos sigan intentando, cometiendo errores, pero cada día creo que estamos mejores. Así que intenta, continúa, sigue intentando.
Okay, perfecto. Yeah, that was great, Camila. That was really amazing.
Was that correct?
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah,
no, definitely. That was perfect. Great job.
It
That
made
was
sense?
truly amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it made complete sense. Great job. Perfect.
Gracias.
Yeah, so congratulations, Camila. Your Spanish is amazing. So now everyone knows that you can indeed speak Spanish. That's great.
Gracias.
Yeah,
Muchas gracias, Manuel.
And for everyone that is interested in checking up Camila's YouTube channel, I'm going to leave a link to her YouTube channel in the description of the video of YouTube. So if you want to check it out and see how Camila makes mistakes and see that it's normal to learn language, that's very normal when you're making mistakes. It's just life. If you want to check out her videos, well, I'm just gonna drop the link in the description below, and you will be able to enjoy seeing how other people learn the Spanish language. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, Camila. So thank you very much for everything again, and see you next time.
See you next time, Manuel.
Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to us today. If you really like this episode and want to get more exclusive content or monthly group coaching to improve your Spanish skills, you can go to our Patreon and support us there. We will really appreciate it.